Aha! What's up, live your dream? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Really good to see you. Let's get the show on the road. Oh, good. You got a notification finally. I guess that means I'm back in the good graces of the YouTube gods. How you been? Are you still you're still on grid? You ain't taken off yet? Oh God, what's this guy doing? I'm in a really bad neighborhood. I love it. The hood loves me. The hood knows me. I fix all their houses. I feel I feel the best in the ghetto. I always feel the safest in the ghetto. I don't know why. What happened in my childhood where I feel most calm in the hood. I think I just relate to the people the most, because it's a constant struggle, it's a constant fight, for balance in the jungle. Hey, Raven. I think I like working in the hood too because there's an element of danger. Kind of like that. Yeah. I don't know. It's just my people. I've been working in the hood for so long. I mean, I do jobs for a lot of commercial properties too, but the hood's always got a special place in my heart. There's a lot of shit people in the hood though you meet, but it's the ones like I always feel like I'm doing the most good when I go into like a low income, struggling family and like do something to help fix their home. You know, I always feel like that's doing the most good. Did you guys see my thumbnail? I had to. So my thumbnail should be a description of what happens when you have low testosterone. I tried to go green screen, but I couldn't figure it out. I wanted that to be my backdrop was the symptoms of low testosterone because I'm pretty sure Cecil is lacking testosterone. I think that's part of his issue at this moment in time. But in all fairness, some of the symptoms I guess I got too, like balding. But I think that's, the reason why I feel like Cecil's been buck broke. I just love that term. He's got no fight left in him. It's like arguing with a wet paper bag or a wet limp noodle. There's just no. I've learned to like the fight, to try to get Cecil to take some accountability for his actions. I've learned to appreciate the struggle and the fight and the back and forth, but he just don't have that no more. He don't. He's weak. Yeah, he's definitely. Well, that was part of the low T. That was part of the low T. It affects your brain. It makes you moody, and like you just don't want to participate. But I think if we're going to really settle this thing, and Cecil's going to take accountability, we got to get Hetty to start slipping some testosterone in his coffee, or one of his soups. She might be able to slip it in his soups. If he don't eat solid food because of his gum disease, he can't eat solid food. So if we could get Hetty to slip some testosterone powder into some of the soups, we could probably mix it up pretty good. I don't think he tastes it through all the nicotine on his teeth. That's what I was thinking. And Olivia Green, that's kind of what I was thinking was like, there's a couple times I've watched these YouTubers that have transitioned from one sex to another. Like, I watched this one creator named it's a man, but she's completely transitioned to a woman. Like, she's got all their parts, all the man parts turned into female parts, right? And it's just like, I started watching it because it was kind of like interesting. I was like, oh my gosh, like, it's so foreign to me. But the person actually, I will give them credit. I really think that person is intelligent. I don't agree with the life choices, but the person, I think it's a good person, right? But my point is, here, I'm getting off base. My point is, when you watch people that are transitioning, there's a moment in time when they're transitioning from a man to a woman where you can tell their testosterone levels are kind of like starting to shift from one sex to another. And I feel like that's where Cecil is stuck. Cecil is stuck in that transition period from man to woman. Only he doesn't want to be a woman, as far as I know. What do they call steroids these days? Gear. Cecil needs to get some gear. He might be wearing Hetty's. Well, actually, I think Hetty wears pants. You've never seen Hetty in a dress. Hetty wears the pants in that house. Yeah, I think Hetty's gone. She's long gone. Cecil needs some gear. His voice, like, that's another thing in them karaoke songs. One of the reasons I fucking hate it so much and I can't stand to listen to it, his voice is getting higher pitched. It almost sounds like it's a fake voice. If you listen to that karaoke Michael Jackson song he did. I swear to God, his voice is higher pitched than Michael Jackson. And a lot of times when Cecil's doing these sing songs, he will do the woman part. And he does the woman's part better than the man's part. No shit. But his voice is actually higher than Michael Jackson. And I'm not fucking around. Yeah, that Nothing Else Matters had me dying too. I couldn't even keep a straight face in that little short that I made. So yeah, he's really gone. It's gone down fast for him. I mean, to be honest with you guys, the fighting that he was involved in with us, with his trolls, I think that was the only thing that was really keeping him a man. Like, I think that gave him enough of a testosterone boost, and I think it was the fear, that feeling of fear. I think gave him a small amount of testosterone or adrenaline, maybe, that he was still, had a little bit of man to him. But now he's literally like a wet noodle. Is the best thing I can do to describe him. And he's a skeleton. He's a skeleton. He reminds me of like the outline. If you look at the atomic bomb dropping in Hiroshima, if you remember seeing the silhouettes of the people after the bomb dropped, it was so hot that it left an imprint of the people on the buildings. That's what Cecil's silhouette looks like to me. Yeah, I think his penis just withered away. I think that's why he's got to wear his gun there. It probably just fell off. I'm about to pull into the store here. We're going to talk before I go in. I was supposed to get way up on a roof today, but that job got canceled and moved, and I'm kind of thankful for that. I really don't care for heights. I mean, I do it. I really don't like it. Let's see here. Some of the song choices he picks, though, it's like they're female songs. What was that one artist? That one country girl. She's kind of newer. God, what's the name of her? Jelly Roll signed her. Um, she's got a super high pitched voice. Cecil covers her music. He's gonna sell his ass. Nobody's gonna pay for his ass. I mean, all joking aside, he's not. His health cannot be that good. I mean, it can't be. Look at the guy. I mean, he looks like he looks ill. He looks very ill. Yeah, he says the medication he's on. He says he never did heroin, yet he's on a drug for people that do heroin. He's on a medication for people that do heroin. They don't give that medication out unless you're on heroin. The thing, the thing that really does kind of rub me the wrong way. I don't care what he calls me. He calls me a. You guys know what he calls me. He calls me a PDF, and I hand candy out to kids in my van, and that don't bother me. You know, it don't bother me because I know it ain't true. So it doesn't affect me one little bit. But if I had to say, if there's something that Cecil says that does bother me, it's the lack of accountability for any of the victims he's ever hurt. And another thing that bothers me is how he defends himself on being a good father. Like how he went, I hit a home run when it came to being a dad. Who says that? Who the fuck says that? Good dads don't say that. And no, Cecil, you did not hit a home run. You leached off Hetty for a roof over your head. Let's be real here, because numbers don't lie. If you take the total sum of the children that you've had in this world, in this lifetime, if you take that sum total and add up the numbers of kids, the ratio of kids that you've given up to kids that you actually care for, it's 3-1. Them ain't good odds. Numbers don't lie. So the numbers say you did not hit a home run. The numbers say you didn't even make it to first base. You try to get, the only kid that you have in your life is your daughter. And I'm not here to talk about anybody's kids, but the only one that you have in your life, you've been caught putting cameras in her room. You refuse to get her a door. You do creepy shit with her friends. Good dads don't do that kind of shit. We found you hiding cameras all around the house. Good dads don't do that shit. Normal dads, even decent dads, don't do that shit. Like it just blows me away. But I hate it when you say that you're a good dad and it's not your fault that you weren't in your kid's life. That's a cop out. That's a fucking excuse. That's taking the easy way out. Just like everything you do in your life, it's a cop out. It's the easy way out. Every time, every single time. It's the path of least resistance. Every single time. And that's how it always is. That's how it always is, Raven. That's how it always is. It's always the shit. If you take what Cecil's saying and flip it around towards him, that's the truth. He always accuses others of the shit that he knows is really true about himself. I know I've been trolling and joking a lot on here and poking fun at him, but there ain't nothing funny about neglecting your kids. There ain't nothing funny about the real reason why I'm here, why we're here. Nothing funny about that. But sometimes I gotta troll Cecil a little bit to get him to, smoke him out of his hole, to get him to pop his head out. Because when he's away and hiding and not having comments and this and that, he thinks all his own thoughts are good because he don't have nobody. He don't keep people in his life that are good for him. He don't have nobody in his life. I don't know why Hetty is still with him, honestly. I really don't. I don't know what he does. to help that family, he would still be jobless if it wasn't for us. I don't know if anybody was here long enough. Hey, Hopeful. I don't know if anybody was here long enough to remember the multiple years that we had to hound Cecil to even go get a job. I mean, it was years. He would literally live stream all day. Cecil, when I first discovered Cecil, things were very different. I mean, he was fucking nasty to people. He still is, but he was fucking nasty to women and children all day long on his channel. He would live stream all day long while Hetty was at work, and he was ruthless to women and kids, people that had cancer. He was fucking ruthless. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it's because of those times that I'm still here during these times when he's not around that much. People might ask, well, he's not fucking able to do anything on social media. Why are you still here trying to expose him? Well, it's because of all the shit that he did then. He should not be able to get away with that, and he's not going to. Rest assured. Whenever we've been able to get the truth out of him, too, the truth has always been much more fucked up than what we really were thinking was going on. I remember when he shared the story about his son, Cecil Jr., and I always thought that he just kind of wasn't in his life. But then Cecil told us about how he fucking abandoned him on some mountain called Wino Mountain that had no electricity, no running water, living in a meth lab, a meth village, and left his kid there, his only son there. And then he said how they tried to come to him to stay with him, and he fucking kicked them out. He kicked his baby mom and his kid out and sent them back up to that fucking meth village. It is. It's dark. It's fucking dark. That's why we gotta be light. Speak lightly here sometimes because it is so dark. Yeah, that's probably the truth about Hetty. I mean, it's at the point now though. Like I used to have sympathy for Hetty, but it's at the point where you really become an accomplice. You know. At this point, she's harboring Cecil. I mean, I don't give him at the rate he's decaying. I don't give him another 5 years. I can't see that happening. I mean, his physical being doesn't have 5 years left to wither away. He's a skeleton with skin. Different moms. Was the kid with the same woman? Oh yeah. I do believe it was with that same girl. I think that the way I remember the story was they both slept with the same girl, and they both have kids with this girl. And yeah, I think that was the one. But he also had a daughter, and if you remember, as soon as he found out his daughter became successful, he immediately tried to start reaching out to her online, and that's when he started trying to dress like a security guard and military or a cop or whatever, because he was trying to impress his daughter, who he was never a dad to, because she became some form of law enforcement. She's very successful, and that's because she wasn't around that fucker. You know, I'd love to hear her side of things. I really would. I'd be willing to bet she became a cop because of fucking Cecil. Because she don't want to let people like fucking Cecil walk free on these streets. I bet you that played a part in it. And thank God, whoever adopted that girl. Thank God for those people. And I pray for Xandra. I can tell she's a very smart, intelligent, good kid. Uh, and you know, I see them take her camping. I see them doing these things. And it's always on the outside that things look good. But we all know here, it's what's behind closed doors with Cecil's is what's fucking frightening. Cecil's never going to do something for somebody unless it benefits himself. Ever. He can't buy his daughter a gift without getting something in return. Hey, brother. My brother knows all too well about old Cecil. All too well. My brother, he pretty much fucking wrote the book on the history of Cecil, and he wrote the playbook on how to expose him and get him to come out of his little fucking hiding place. He shows every gift he gets for anybody. It's like it ain't a good deed if you got to brag about it. Donating money to a homeless person is not a good deed if you got to fucking film it. You know, and like every time he gets his daughter something, he fucking has to gloat about it, boast about it, show it off online. It's like that don't look good to anybody. You know, I'm honestly surprised he hasn't hurt anybody with his gun. He's probably not strong enough to rack it, if I had to guess. If you're trying to get on a verse on a song, he had the mindset to put the gun on the front of his waistband, which he always does, but then he grinds the camera like he does so many times. And that's the image he wants a rapper that he likes. That's the image he wants him to see of himself. Of him grinding his fucking gun like it's his penis grinding up on a person like it. That's what he wants people to see. It's very gay as fuck. But again, that goes back to you know, he's like transitioning without transitioning. He's transitioning into a worm. Right. Well, he got a Glock now, Raven. He's devolving. He's devolving. He's devolving back to the worm. It looks like him, doesn't it? What was that video game back in the day? Jimmy the Worm, or I remember this game I used to play. That's what Cecil looks like. It was like Jimmy the Worm. It was a great game. I think it was on Sega. Earthworm Jim. I knew you'd get that. I knew you were going to get that. Live your dream. Earthworm Jim. That's what Cecil looks like. Yep. I know. I love the game. I love the game. That was badass. Yeah, Cecil's got he's got a Gen 3 Glock 19. It's a good gun. Not in his hands. He gives it a bad name. You know. If you watch his shooting videos, it tells you everything you need to know about Cecil and firearms. I don't even got to say nothing. Just go watch his fucking shooting video. He can barely hold on to this thing. If you look at his grip, like he like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like he wraps his thumbs together. Like, I don't know. You would have to know. You would have to like know proper shooting technique to see how bad Cecil is. I mean, not even really. You could just look at him and tell like he's all fucked up. No, he can't do none of that. It just fucking cringes me out that like he thinks he's so badass and special because he's got a fucking gun. That just fucks me up. You know, it's a tool. A firearm is a tool. That'd be like somebody acting like that with their new hammer or something. I mean, in my eyes, a firearm is a tool, and it's an important tool, but it's not something that should be treated like a fucking prop. And that's all it is to him. He don't carry it loaded, thank God. But that tells you there too. Like if when I carry my firearm, I carry it loaded because it's a tool. I know how to carry it safely because I've trained with it. I continue training with it. But like, what good is a gun if it's not loaded? Because if an emergency happens, you're not gonna have time to rack a fucking round in the chamber. No, it ain't gonna happen like that. It ain't gonna happen like that. It happens so fast, you're not gonna be able to get a good sight picture, you know. But in Cecil's mind, here's how he thinks it's gonna play out. He's gonna see somebody assaulting someone, attempting to kill somebody, and Cecil's gonna have plenty of time to rack around and get a proper sight picture and fucking make an amazing shot and save somebody's life and save the day. That's how he thinks it's gonna go. Exactly, would agree. Yeah, it's only as good as the user. That's right. I watched one of his range sessions, and you could tell he brought somebody with him that never had shot before. And after I watched Cecil shoot and this other person that I could tell had never shot before, the person that never shot before was better with the firearm than Cecil. That video's still up. You can see that on his channel. Oh man, I'm just kind of like people watching right now. There's so many people out today. exactly, exactly. I mean, I don't know anybody, even like the so-called gun community that he thinks nobody knows about. He thinks he's the only person that knows things. It's like, no, people just don't. There's no reason to bring these things up. But even people in the gun community, they don't do the things Cecil does. Nobody does. Nobody's gonna watch Cecil's video of him shaking his gun in his crotch around and think, oh, he's doing that because that's gun life, that's gun culture. No, nothing you do, Cecil, is part of the gun life. You know what gun culture people do? You would never know they're carrying a gun because that's what they do. That's what they're doing. Yeah. Cecil, don't you realize when was the last time Uh-oh. We still here, guys? Can you guys hear me? I don't know why my camera's not working. Can you guys hear me? You guys able to hear me still? All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming in. Sorry the stream ended abruptly. I'll catch you guys later.